You were listening to a lot of Pink Floyd in high school, right?
Of course I was. That's like one of the OG bands right there.
Yeah. Pinky Floyd. What album we talking about?
Wish You Were Here is my 8th favorite album of all time.
Ow, ow.
I think we're on 8.
I think we're at 8 too.
Sure
Yeah,
we're
well,
at 8.
because I did the last one I talked about was Golden Hour, which is number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the reason I started buying vinyl, because I really want to hear that one, because it would be really good, really sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which of course the first half is an actual goated masterpiece. Second half has a few parts that's whatever, but still good.
Which also inspired JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, by naming the main stand Crazy Diamond. It's my favorite JoJo's part. I can't let this opportunity slip through my fingers. But yes, yeah, the first half of Shine On You Crazy Diamond is goated, 100%.
Then we have Welcome to the Machine, which is a really cool sounding song because it really paints an image in your head about like a factory. It reminds me of Chemical Zone in Sonic. I don't know why. Not the music, but the stage.
Oh, I don't even know if that was Chemical Zone, but
no idea. But like, yeah, that's what I imagine in my head when I listen to that song. Then we have a Cigar, which is just a good old jam. Features some guy, I don't know who it is, but different vocalist.
Foo Fighters did a cover of it on their album Medium Rare, that was the first time I ever heard that song, and then I found out it was a Pink Floyd cover, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, and then of course we have the title track, which I'm pretty sure is their most played song, and good old tribute song. It fits to anyone or anything that you wish you could have again, and 5 tracks. Goddamn, all near masterpiece. Really, I don't know what else to say, because I already talked about this damn album like a couple times. It's just good, all right? Listen to it.
Pink Floyd is one of those artists that I wouldn't say underrated, because like Comfortably Numb and Wish You Were Here and all of these older acoustic dudes at open mics and shows and stuff, they're always playing one of those 2 songs, and Dark Side of the Moon is probably one of the most famous album cover of all time. It's like that, Abbey Road, and like I don't even know what else. But yeah, it's Pink Floyd is one of those artists that I feel like they're never the first ones brought up in a conversation about like rock music in the 70s. Although I feel like they always end up coming up eventually. They pioneered a lot of sounds that later bands would adopt, and a lot of experimental. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of drugs were involved. But because it was the 60s, 70s. But there are so many artists now that, whether they admit it or not, owe a lot to Pink Floyd for their contribution to experimental rock songwriting, especially for the time. Speaking of Explosions, I feel like Explosions, they must listen to and respect Pink Floyd a lot, because there's a lot of Pink Floyd tracks that are straight up just instrumentals. Like I'm thinking of a couple of tracks on The Wall specifically, and a lot of like Time from Dark Side, which is not instrumental entirely, but it's like, there are so many songs that are dedicated to having whole sections that are without vocals and blah blah blah. So it's very cool. Also, Another Brick in the Wall is their number 1 song on Spotify by at least like 1.5 million listens. But I mean, at this point, like 1 million listens between like
Chump
a song that has, yeah,
chump change.
yeah, I remember I didn't listen to Pink Floyd as much for a while. Like in high school, it was a little different because I was going through my classic rock phase. In middle school, you and Lopez specifically inspired me / peer pressured me to listen to a lot of hair metal and 80s metal, and I just kept going back from that because all of those guys, Metallica and Megadeth, and they all had their own influences and covers and stuff from songs before their time. And
remember when you were young, what's the part about? Shine on your crazy diamond.
All right. We don't want to get a copyright strike on this video on YouTube.
I'll be fine.
You're singing it perfectly. We're not going to be fine. But yeah, so if you haven't heard any Pink Floyd albums, David, as the resident Pink Floyd expert, would you say that Wish You Were Here is the best album to introduce someone to the Pink Floyd sound, or do you think there's a better contender? Because I don't know if we're ever going to talk Pink Floyd on the channel again, because I don't think they're putting out a new album. Right?
No. Until we get Josh on here.
Oh, right.
See, Dark Side is, of course, like the major classic, but there's some weird shit, which I guess, On the Run and...
Oh, dude, On the Run used to freak me out.
Yeah,
I do not like listening to On the Run.
By itself is like... That's like the weird side, because Wish You Were Here doesn't have any weird thing on it. It's just all really good. Although every other album has at least a little bit of weird shit. Maybe not Animals. Animals I think is fine.
Yeah.
But I would say yes. And if you see the 12-minute tracks and say, 12 minutes long, I say shut the hell up and listen to it with the best sound possible. Because when you hear that organ come in and those 4 guitar notes, doesn't matter. It could be like an hour long. You will be invested the entire time. Because it is fantastic.
Woo!
And that's why it's better than 99% of the shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. It's good stuff. That's why it's number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah, dude. You know what's wild to believe is Pink Floyd had 1, 2, 3, 4. Would you consider Ummagumma a studio album?
It is, but it's fucking dog shit. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong. That is objectively a terrible album.
4, 5.
I had some motherfucker come to me and say, I disregard any list that a momentary lapse of reason isn't a last. Eat my fucking balls, dude. Ummagumma is absolute trash, and that is the only album that deserves last place. Fucking dumbass.
Your balls. Did you know that Pink Floyd had 8 studio albums before Dark Side came out?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Which is fucking bananas. So any bands or artists out there that are like, oh, my first release has to be the biggest whatever. No, man. Just keep doing it. Pink Floyd kept doing it. They kept doing it for like 8 albums. Which, okay, so Dark Side was 73, and then Piper at the Gates of Dawn was 67. Okay, well, I guess this was before this is before the time where artists went on tour. Fucking all the
when
time.
they were just cranking out an album every goddamn year, sometimes 2. It's bananas.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, man, just keep doing the thing. I feel like Pink Floyd is a good example of, if you don't give up, you'll find success eventually. But if you keep going and you just keep writing, isn't that success in and of itself? Mm-hmm. It's different for everybody. But thank you, David. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, can I borrow some of those?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got 'em 2 marshmallows.
Oh, dude, I fucking love SpongeBob so much. Yeah, so go listen to Wish You Were Here, form your own opinion.